You think you're strong until life takes away the one thing you love the most. Because there's a kind of pain no one sees, a kind of pain that makes no sound, but quietly tears everything apart inside you. And when that moment comes, you're left with two paths. You either close yourself off, or you let it change you. Almost no one talks about this, but the hardest battle you'll ever face isn't out there in the world. It's the one that begins inside you after the pain hits. The anger, the resentment, the emptiness, and most of all, the urge to stop feeling altogether. Because feeling hurts. And this is where most people get lost. Because suffering has this quiet, dangerous power. It starts convincing you that love just isn't worth it anymore. But there's something most people never realize. Pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to reveal who you really are. That sounds powerful in theory, but let's be honest. When the pain is real, nothing about it feels philosophical. Who actually knows how to embrace their own suffering? Who looks at loss and doesn't shut down? This is where ideas end and real life begins. Because when it hits you for real that most people don't grow from pain, they harden, they become distant, cold, guarded. They keep living, but they stop truly feeling. And that is a quiet kind of death. But then there are the rare ones, the ones who go through the same pain and refuse to become what hurt them. And that kind of strength, most people will never understand. Because suffering alone will break you, but suffering with meaning will transform you. When you find meaning in your pain, it stops being just pain. It becomes awareness, depth, something that holds you together instead of tearing you apart. But here's the truth no one tells you. Meaning doesn't just appear, you build it. And most of the time, it comes from a decision that feels almost impossible, to keep loving, even after the pain, even after the loss, even after everything. And that goes against everything the world teaches you. The world tells you to protect yourself, to pull back, to not risk getting hurt again. But there's another way to live, a way very few people have the courage to choose. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond, and that response changes everything. Pain can turn you into someone closed off, or someone even more human. Loss can harden you, or teach you how to love more deeply. Suffering can break you, or wake you up. But none of that happens automatically. It's a choice. And that choice doesn't happen in front of people. It happens in silence, when no one is watching, when there's no applause, when you're alone with your thoughts. That's where you decide whether you're going to shut down or stay open, even when it's terrifying. And staying open after you've been hurt? That's not weakness. That's the highest form of strength. It's looking at everything you've been through and still saying, I won't become cold. I won't lose myself. I won't let this define my heart. And that decision changes everything. Because in the end, it's not what you lost that defines your life. It's who you choose to become after it. You can carry your pain like a burden or like meaning. You can live in fear or live with awareness. You can close yourself off or become someone who truly understands the depth of being alive. And that depth doesn't come from happiness. It comes from the pain that didn't destroy you, the pain that taught you, the pain that transformed you. Maybe that's the real truth no one wants to face. Life doesn't test your strength when everything is going right. It reveals your strength when everything falls apart. And in that moment, you finally see who you are. Not when you're happy, but when you could give up and you choose not to. You choose to keep going, to keep feeling, to keep loving, even knowing it might hurt again. Because anyone can love when life is easy. But very few can still love after the pain.